Your feminine magnetic power isn't just your Venus, it's also your Lilith. And if you've only ever worked with one, then you're only working with half of yourself. It's very trendy to work with your Venus, how to dress, how to embody the magnetic energy that is your Venus, how to get what you want, how to receive. But the power is Lilith. Lilith is where the actual power is. Venus and Lilith are not about dark feminine or light feminine. They are about how you feel disconnected from your power and how to actually reclaim it. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are new here, then let me take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Katerina. I am a transformation coach and astrologer. I help people stop living in their old self, their old identity, their old loops and patterns, and help them step into the version of themselves that they always wanted to be. So Venus is how you attract, how you receive abundance, love, creativity, how you step into that magnetism. That's the part of feminine energy that I think we can all agree on is the desirable side. It is the part of us that feel like we want to be accepted. So we step into that very Venus embodied way. Now, this could be with the way you dress. This could be with where you know you need to step into in order to attract. You could be doing this for yourself, but you could also be doing it for other people. Lilith is everything that got exiled. Your rage, your rawness, your truth, your anger, your dreams and desires that got told maybe they were too big or too much. This is the part of you that got told not to act like that, not to be like that, and you lessened yourself because of those experiences. Like I said before, this isn't about dark or light femininity. This isn't about picking one or the other. They are both together. They are entwined together in your soul. They are both powerful and they are both necessary. Venus is what you embody, what you show. Lilith is where your rawness is. Lilith is where the power is. Think of Venus as the way you naturally attract. It is the embodiment of you. But Lilith, that's the part of you that steps into that magnetism and power. Both of them are together. And learning to work with them both is really key. I think most people step into Venus energy, type in how to dress like their Venus sign, mostly because they want to be chosen, they want to be accepted, they want to be palatable. While the raw rage feminine energy, the truth, the rawness, the power, that is being exiled. And that is because of society. We've been taught to be a certain way of femininity and not the other way of femininity. But femininity is all of it. Feminine energy is all of it. The power, the softness, the abundance, the creativity, the rage. It's all. And when you split them, that's exactly what blocks your magnetism, blocks your abundance. Because true magnetism isn't Lilith or Venus. It is both of them. It isn't dark or light. It is both of them. Now, I'm not saying Lilith is dark and Venus is light, because if you have Venus in Scorpio like me, that would be more of a dark feminine energy. So when I say dark and light, I mean like as the feminine energy encompass, not to do with Venus or Lilith. Your true magnetism lies when you integrate them both, when you embody them both. Being desired without abandoning your truth, being magnetic without overperforming, owning the power within you without shaming yourself. This is raw creativity. This is magnetic power. This is truth without shame. This is where your desires can become your reality. This is where you stop blocking abundance. This is where you receive without feeling like you're losing yourself. Integrating these two is where the true magnetic, powerful, rage, anger self lives. Okay, so your Venus sign shows you how you attract and how you receive. When you put the Venus in a house, that just shows where that energy would be more easeful for you. So I'll give examples after I've explained both Venus and Lilith. Lilith's sign and house shows where you have suppressed your power, your truth, maybe even your rage. This is where your raw power lives, and it's most likely been suppressed or exiled. So I'm going to use my chart for my example. So I have Venus in Scorpio. That energy of how I receive and how I attract is through depth, is through being vulnerable, is through being truthful. That's where my magnetism lies. Now put this into my 11th house, and it's through community. It's through collective spaces. It's through being online in community. That's when my magnetism starts to grow. When I enter online spaces or community spaces as my authentic, truthful, magnetic self, that's where the abundance starts to flow. But if there is a performatism there, if there is a wound there, that most likely might warp my abundance, or it might be something that I fiercely fear. I can say that's truthful for my life. I avoided collective community spaces because I didn't feel like I was ready yet. I kept pausing it, and that can be a wound of a sign in a certain house, is like what you feel like would be the magnetic energy of that. Normally that's what we avoid, or that's what we manipulate, and that's what we end up not being able to step into, that like true magnetism and the receiving power of that. My Lilith is in Libra, so the wound of that, the suppressed side of that, is people pleasing, is feeling like I can't be myself because I don't want to hurt people. I feel like I can't speak what I truthfully want to speak about because people might not like me, people might not want to follow me, and there's not so much of an attention seeking as much as if it was Leo, because Leo wants to be mirrored. They really that's their desire. It's not for vanity. It might be a little bit of vanity, but it's more that they really want to be mirrored, and they're putting themselves out there to have that energy. Anyway, Libra is the balanced person, but what happens to balance when you're scared of speaking your truth is just to keep the peace, you won't say it. Just to keep the peace, you won't talk about what you really want to talk about. You'll suppress your views, your thoughts, your words, whatever it is, you'll suppress yourself because of that. Now, I have Lilith in my 10th house. So that means the raw power, the truthfulness is within public spaces, career spaces. Now, what does that make together? Well, my raw magnetic power, my receiving ability, my true abundance within my Venus and Lilith is all about showing up and being authentic in spaces where people can see you. And that is to do with career, public identity, and collective spaces. They both kind of come together. As soon as I started my YouTube channel, things really started to change. It took a while because I was in a performative space at the beginning, and I was trying to be people pleasing and trying to do what other people wanted, and what was popular. But as soon as I started to take off the mask, and as soon as I started to speak about the truthfulness of my life and what I've been through and everything in between that, things started to really shift for me, because I was showing up in a collective space as my truthful self, which is also my career. So your power isn't about choosing one and going with it. Your power is about embodying them both, understanding them both, implementing them both. So this is what I exactly go deeper into in my Venus and Lilith workshop. I will be going into the wounds of Venus and Lilith and what that looks like. I'll be talking about the magnetic energy and the receiving energy of Venus and the raw power of Lilith, and how we can actually work with them together and integrate them both. You will also be getting a complete workbook about Venus and Lilith in every single house and in every single sign. You will also get deeply tailored shadow work prompts to those specific placements. So if you're not already signed up to my email list, I've left a link down below so you can sign up and buy your ticket for the Venus and Lilith workshop that I'm going to do. I'm so excited. This is the work that I did. This is the work that started my journey. Deep astrology-based shadow work. It was getting so self-aware of myself in a much more specific way than generic shadow work. This is where the work starts. This is the work that actually shifts your relationships, shifts your work, shifts your money, and shifts how you actually show up. The moment you understand your Venus and Lilith energy, you will show up so different. You will stop yourself before you end up overperforming or overgiving, or even if it is the wound of like manipulation, you will slow those down and the true self will come up. So again, if you're interested in joining my workshop live, then the link below is for joining the email list, and you will get early access to buy your tickets. The version of you that is naturally magnetic, the version of you that naturally receives, the version of you that steps into that raw power, that truthfulness, but also it's the version of you that steps into that abundance, the version of you that steps into her raw truth. That's the version of you that you want to be. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video. That's the version of you that you need to tap into. That's the version of you that embodies Venus and Lilith. And it's not something you have to try. It's something you are. You are both. They are within you. You just need to get rid of all the goo and all the past shit that has been put onto you, so you can find her again and you can come home to yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.